Okay, grab your coffee and please sit down. Okay, get your seats picked out. Okay, I will call this congregational meeting to order, and we're going to have Karen will come up and open a prayer for us.
Good morning. As with all prayers that I begin, let's bless ourselves in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Today's meeting, not too many people, but as Doug said, there are so many people that have been at meetings all week. We want to come together for unity, guidance in all aspects of the church, service that we can give to the church, and how good it is that we can come together as a people in unity. I hope that our fellowship reflects all of our love for the Lord and for one another. And if we can just finish, this is all I'm going to say, with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you very much.
At least you didn't step on them. Thank you, Karen. Okay, in front of you on the table, there's a couple copies of the November 2025 congregational meeting minutes. I know some people don't go online to see them and read them, but you can glance through those if you haven't already. And we are going to call for a vote to approve those this morning. And the council has given the recommendation that they are approved. So if you want to just take about 1 minute to read those, we'll call for a vote. If you haven't read them already. I see a few people concentrating. Well, the coffee and the niblets are delicious. Okay, it looks like most people have set them down. A few are still breezing through them, but let's see if we can call for a motion. Pardon? Okay, we'll just do a vote. We're going to vote to approve and accept these congregational minutes as printed. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank you. A couple other notes here. We were going to have a presentation tomorrow by Josh Douglas of the LCMS Mission or Gift and Planning Advocacy regarding estate and gift planning. He was going to do a presentation and so forth, but we have a little bit of a conflict in our schedule. So we are looking for a different date for Josh to come, and it looks like it might be in May. And if you recall what we had talked about earlier, he's going to present how we can, at our stages of life, whatever, put any kind of wishes and desires in our wills and our estates for gift planning to give to our churches. So it'll be an interesting thing. And then he would make individual meetings for the following 2 or 3 days, however many people want to sign up to meet with him individually and privately. Otherwise, he'll be here in the morning between services to give a presentation. Should be interesting. And then we'll also announce that the next congregational meeting, quarterly meeting, which we're required to have 4 times a year, will be scheduled right now for June 13th in this room, 10 o'clock in the morning. Another reminder that we started in the past year, and we've got it set up and ready to actually work, is we set up a new donation type process. If you wanted to donate any kind of stock out of your portfolios or whatever directly to Shepherd of the Hills, we have a mechanism in place that we can do that. You can see Joe Kelly or myself if you wanted to try something like that. And to announce the church council has appointed Pastor Knupp as a pastoral representative and myself as a layperson representative to place our congregation's votes in the upcoming election of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod presidential leaders. At this time, we don't have the list of the people that are running for the various presidential offices in our synod, but they will become available. The voting is not until June, and it'll be electronic, so we don't have to travel anywhere. So the council has appointed Pastor Keith and myself for that purpose. And could we get the pictures up about the films, the window films? Are you able to do that? What we've been working on, there's a few people that are working on this. We're trying to, the main thing is the youth room, which is right next door, is to cover those windows with a covering, a sheeting, if you would, that goes on the inside of the window that will block the view so people can't see in, kind of a safety issue for kids gathered in there. And there's going to be a scene on it of mountains. So it'll be on, that far wall and then on the front of their doors. And then these doors right here will be more of just a plain covering. You won't be able to see in, but we're still working on what exactly the type of logo, saying, and whatever we're going to put on there. We're still scratching our heads as to how we're going to put that on there. But the main thing is for safety for gatherings like this, and especially for the youth that are next door in their gatherings. And we're also going to have one on the office window. I think there's a picture there of that. It was the first one. It was the first slide. No, the office picture. Now, none of us like this black one, but that's the one here on the left. That's the window in front of Angie's desk, the big clear window. So we're trying to figure something nice to put on there. We don't think it's going to have the wording of Shepherd of the Hills on because we have a sign right next door. And plus the people are in the building already. They know where they're at. So we're going to have some kind of a nice covering on that one too. That's more just peaceful in it. You can see out, but you cannot see in. Yeah. And I think there's a sample. Kristen.
So I submitted, we want to protect the youth, so we don't want to say youth room. So I submitted a logo that has Shepherd of the Hills Lutheran Church and it has the Lutheran cross in the middle. I just got a call from Wes. He said he likes it, so we'll send that out. It's on my phone, but I don't want to deal with trying to project
Right,
it.
okay.
But it's a nice, clean logo, and it would be on all the doors, so everything will be the same, so you don't know what's behind each door.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
If you want to see an example of how these are, not seeing in, but seeing out, if you go to the main post office down here in town and you walk up to the doors, they are a mirror. It's like walking into a mirror, but once you get in, you see out just fine. It's the same coating. We're just going to have a nice scene.
And I think also, and Fred, you were there yesterday, doesn't the Country Kitchen have a similar thing on their windows? Yeah. So if you know where the Country Kitchen is, they have all their wording and advertising and everything on it. So you really can't see in, but you can see out once you're in there. So we're doing that, as we said, for a safety thing for our kids. So that'll be coming. What else is here? All right, the next thing on our agenda that I'm showing here is we have an open position on our council and in our board. It's for vice treasurer. And the council recommends that the congregation hold the vote and have Jan Murphy fill that position for the remaining part of the term. And she would be directly helping out Joe in our finance. And that is for vice treasurer. So we will need a vote on that. If you have any conversation or discussion you want to take, we can do that right now. Yes, a big thank you for Jan. I think Joe will second that. All right, so we'll take a vote. Do we need a motion, Fred? No, okay. All in favor of appointing Jan Murphy as our vice treasurer, say aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank you all. All right, with that said, since we're on to finance, basically, we'll have Joe come up and describe what he's got for us here. And Fred, you'll be next for the update on the call committee.
Thanks, Deb. Good morning. So we've distributed paper copies of the financials. I can't see my notes if I'm like, sorry. So the paper financial statements that you have in front of you there, those are also available electronically. I'm going to volunteer Kristen here if you have any questions about how to access those. One call out that I would make as you look at those is that these are the 2025 financial statements and they are based on cash flow. Our plan is going forward to present calendar quarterly financial information that lines up with, like I say, the calendar quarter for these congregational meetings. Another call out that I wanted to make is that because these are 2025 statements, these don't include the 2026 budget that was approved last November. And the fact that that budget will be restated once that we have the new senior pastor and for Pastor Knup's compensation package as associate pastor. So looking at your first financial statement there is the statement of financial position. This was previously called the balance sheet. The balance sheet connotes a little bit different type of report than a statement of financial position because this is the roll-up of the entire church's financial position at a given date. And we're looking at December 31st, 2025. In that report, we see that the church has in its general fund checking and savings accounts total of $790,000. Of those, our checking account is roughly $300,000. We have a savings account of $50,000 and certificates of deposit with the LCEF of $430,000. During 2025, we added 2 assets to our listing of fixed assets, and that was the mail cabinet that Rod made for us, and that was for the materials that went towards that, and the new sign and playground equipment that was put on the books as a fixed asset. So we have fixed assets there of $2,296,000. And the last asset that we have is the other assets, the permanently restricted funds that we have, and that is the endowment fund, the scholarship fund, and the Memorial Gardens Fund. Each one of these funds has a separate account with the LCEF, so those assets are actually segregated from the rest of the assets of the church. So we closed 2025 with total assets of $3,441,000. Then looking on down the list, we have temporarily restricted funds of $86,000, and then equity of $3,441,000, which then ties out to the total assets that we have. Statement of activities. We have, you can see there, we have contributions income from the member envelopes. We got the plate offering, then our interest income. Those are our primary categories. Then we have the other income category, which appears to be pretty substantial, and it is. In that, we had $104,000 in transfers from other funds, and this is from restricted funds in the balance sheet, and this was for let's see what we have there. We had temporarily restricted funds that were released into the general fund, and then we also had the sign and the mail cabinet that was moved from a separate restricted fund into the fixed asset section. In that category, we've also got in-kind contributions for SLF's new security system, and that is being installed this quarter. And we anticipate we should have the final bills for that as we go forward. Moving down the list, then you have it's split out by council person and area of responsibility. The biggest impact there, of course, is the elders area, where we had Pastor Abram step aside or accept a call. And so the impact from that is close to $60,000 reduction in the elders budget. So that's the biggest impact there. Next, we have the treasurer's report. This is a form that we generally cover with each meeting. We have member contributions, and this is for strictly December. Member contributions of $92,000, $41,000, expenses of $40,643, and therefore net income in the church's general fund of $51,397. Our savings account balance after the interest credit was $51,105. Our contingency fund balance stood at $40,771. And our general checking account balance, as we mentioned before, is $309,032. And temporarily restricted funds are $86,045, for a net there of unfettered cash of almost $223,000. And I did have one comment about the minutes that you all just approved. We had discussion in there about a financial review that would take place by February 1st. That's just simply not possible with the accounting transition and the other priorities we have for the first part of the year. So we will get that on the agenda. We just couldn't do it right now. So, Doug?
I got a question.
Okay, I understand. I was looking to the president.
Okay. It looked like all through the year we were just sailing right along, and all of a sudden we have a loss of $16,000, at the end of the year. Could you talk to that, please? I mean, is that just a bookkeeping thing, or?
So, well, if you read the column heading, that's our budget. Okay, and that was out there all 12 months out of the year, because I think it was after we got past January, we realized we had to make some changes to that, and that was not carried through to the contribution side. We execute a practice here of zero-based budgeting, and then we back into what the contributions are needed to support that, and we affected some small amendments to the expense side of it, but we didn't build them into the budget side. So that number has been out there all year as the annual effect on the budget. Does that answer your question?
Enough.
Okay. That's all I've got. Thank you. Okay. Do you need a lesson in how to use this? How'd you get your
It's taller than me. How's that? Thanks, Joe. Before I forget, after our session is done and everything today, we've been asked for if a few people would stay behind and help rearrange the room and open the doors, et cetera, like that. So just keep in mind after we're all done, a couple of guys or and women, whatever, stay and give a hand. So. Okay, what we're going to do now is move along to Fred Munt. He's going to give us an update on our call committee. Fred asked if he can do it from the floor down there, so he's got a microphone. And he's going to let us know what's going on and kind of tell us a little bit about yesterday.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Pastor Miller did get our call documents and has reviewed them. And when he looked into the package and thought about what his schedule was over the coming weeks and everything else, he thought it would be prudent for him to hightail it down here real quick and get to meet a bunch of us and look over the facilities, which he did. We got a call Wednesday saying he would like to come down, and he was going to drive down 12 hours on Thursday, spend Friday with us all day and drive back today. So that's what he did. And we real quick set up as best we could a bunch of meetings for him. We filled up his day, starting with breakfast and meetings with the pastors, and then we had meetings with the call committee and with the elders and with the council. Plus, we invited a bunch of the other functional chairs that are not on the council, but they are heading up functions here in the church, like sheepdogs and things like that. So we had, in spite of the fact it was really short notice, we had a real good day with a lot of participants there. And to my knowledge, everybody was real positively impressed with Pastor Miller. He is very personable. He came across well. He did discussions with each of the groups, and we ended up with a dinner last night with Doug and Pastor John and myself, to send him back on his way with a positive note. And all of his comments were also quite positive about yesterday. He did raise a couple of things that he has to consider, and that always happens. They have to consider everything, family and his current congregation, etc. But one thing we discussed yesterday was the fact that for a pastor with a single pastor congregation, this is probably the worst time of the year for schedules, because you're in 6 weeks of Lent when you have Lenten services every midweek. You have 2 services. Their church does 2 services on Sunday morning, and all of the other things that go into being a pastor. And so it's really a tough schedule. So he had originally said he had hoped to get us a response sometime in March. And we told him, hey, don't worry about that. You know, we're covered as far as our pastoral care is concerned here. We want him to have time to make a good decision, make another trip down here with his wife for a couple of days or so and really get to know us, get to know the area, and let that be part of his equation for evaluating the call, along with the other things that are more the theological and pastoral that he has to consider. So he was very appreciative of that. So I'm thinking, we don't have a firm schedule, but I'm thinking that shortly after Easter Sunday, we will be setting up a visit for him and his wife to come down for at least a couple of days, meet some more people, do some house hunting, do some evaluation and looking around the community, get it to know everything better. And then we get an answer on whether he is going to come or not sometime shortly thereafter. So if anybody that met with him yesterday would like to make any comments, this would be a good time to do it.
Anybody have any comments that was able to attend one of the meetings yesterday? Any recommendations or anything?
I didn't attend a meeting. I just happened to run into Pastor John showing Pastor Miller around. He was a very happy person. Very happy.
Yes.
Which one?
So, no, I was very impressed. He's very outgoing.
I think he's very friendly, very nice guy. So. Sue liked him.
So, yeah, I met him yesterday also, and I really liked that he would ask questions, like he'd hear you, and he would then ask more, like interview you about what you said. And also the fact that he loves teaching, preaching, praying, spreading God's word. I mean, he kept focusing on that, so that was really cool.
Anybody else? I'll just add one last comment to that. We learned stuff about his family also. And his youngest daughter is, I believe, in 6th grade this year. She absolutely loves the outdoors, loves animals, the whole bit. So to help try to seal a deal, I sent him videos of the mother bear and 3 cubs in my yard so he could show his daughter. So there. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on. Don, are you ready for your presentation? And as you know, Don and a few others have been working on some technology upgrades and improvements for our whole church body here, and he's going to show us where we're at.
Is that the first one? That's the first one.
Yep. First off, forgive me for sitting down and sticking to a script. I won't go into why, but forgive me. I'm excited. I'm about to show you something that is the beginning of a major upgrade to our audio, video, and lighting in our sanctuary and fellowship hall. Thanks to systems we have designed and installed ourselves over these past years, our Board of Technology has truly shown the positive influence technology can have in the ministry here at Shepherd of the Hills. But there are shortcomings in our system that detract. Dead spots are hard to hear or understand, spots in both the sanctuary and the fellowship hall. The projection in the sanctuary is small and washed out by ceiling lights, and the projectors cast bat-winged shadows that are distracting. In the fellowship hall, it's hard to hear questions from the floor. The stage has poor lighting. Add to this the acoustic challenges in both facilities, We just do not have the skills, training, and tools to solve these challenges. It's time to ask for help. The Board of Technology has established a task force headed by myself with the assistance of Sharon Misklevitz and Ron Williamson. And thanks to the council and you, we have money in the 2026 budget to get assistance from a qualified engineering service to create an audio, video, and lighting and AVL plan to identify problem areas and to design a system that will take us to wherever the Lord leads us in worship, services, and social activities. AE Global is a company out of North Carolina that, quote, exists to partner with you, the local church, to help your message get out clearly, creatively, and confidently, unquote. We have just signed a $6,500 project service agreement for design and engineering, written by us and approved by them after a visit with AE Global sales manager Chris Burkhardt. We recognize this is a sizable undertaking and could take significant capital to implement, so the PSA is set up in two phases: optimize, improve what we have, and enhance, go to the next level. In December, Chris visited, attended a call committee voter meeting, Saturday service, Sunday Bible class, and both services on Sunday. During that visit, he took special pictures of both the sanctuary and the fellowship hall using a system called Matterport. As you watch this demonstration, please understand the following. The system allows input of composition of walls, flooring, ceilings, so that engineers remotely can do acoustical, audio, visual, and lighting analysis remotely. From this analysis, we'll be able to plan a roadmap that, if you will allow us to contract with AE Global to either do a turnkey install or for us to assist with the install, much like we did with the Laborers for Christ when we did the admin wing construction. All right. Now you guys swap. All right, this is, are we looking at it? So this is the church. Understand this was done at Christmas time, so all the decorations are up, and also you see me in there, and just ignore me. The beauty of this is we can go anywhere we want in the facility. We can go up, we can look at the ceiling, we can go down, we can go in the back of the room, we can go up in the balcony, we can spin it around. I know you are. The point is that this system gives them the ability to be anywhere in the church, anywhere in that facility, and do either reflection analysis, picture analysis, or what have you. And from that, develop for us a list of things that we should do and where we should do it and how we should do it and how much it costs. All right, we can do the same thing in the fellowship hall. All right? We can even go into the other room. And they can remove the door. So they can see anything, right? All right, we can go back to the slide. All right, I'm concerned that this is a phenomenal tool. In addition, AE Global will work with us via FaceTime and come back as needed to answer questions and to modify the plan to meet our specific needs. You will be involved in this project. It is critical that we consider whatever you might consider important in both facilities. Our first presentation, obviously, will be to the pastors and the board of elders. We then plan to meet with every board and committee. We'll probably combine them together and we welcome individual input from all members of the congregation. I advise you to look at the soft notes, the newsletter, and email for presentation dates and times, all right? All right. Our goal is to present our first recommendations for what we should do in the June meeting. All right, that's my spiel. Any questions or thoughts? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don and Sheridan and Ron. I think they're all here. Yeah, they're all here. Thanks. This stuff is going to be amazing. Just amazing. So thank you much. At this time, the council is thinking that each of our congregational meetings, we should have one of our boards or whatever come up and talk a little bit about what they do, who they are, just to keep the word out there of what's going on. And so this month, this congregational meeting, I asked the LWML to have a little talk about what they're doing and what they're up to, because they are on such a roll right now. It's exciting. So we will have Lisa come up, and she's going to tell us all about it. You want me to try saying your name again?
Crazy. That's how you say the last name. It's like crazy without the C. My mother-in-law didn't like me saying it that way. So I wish to thank Doug for asking me to speak today, and I hope you all find this interesting. Sorry, gentlemen, I'll be focusing on the ladies. Many of you know that LWML stands for Lutheran Women's Missionary League. For over 80 years, LWML has been the official women's auxiliary for the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. In 2023, we launched a new logo and started using the descriptive phase, Lutheran Women in Mission. This phrase clearly states who we are and what we do. As Lutheran Women in Mission, we joyfully proclaim Christ, support missions, and equip women to honor God by serving others. Our LWML group at Shepherd of the Hills is aptly named Sisters of the Shepherd. As sisters, we encompass the Deborah Circle, an evening women's Bible study, as well as the Lydia sisters who quilt for local missions. LWML membership is available to any woman who is a communicant member of our congregation. Please note that instead of having regular scheduled meetings, this year we are focusing on service activities, guest speakers, mission fundraising events, and spiritual retreats and rallies. We are extremely honored and excited to be hosting the Zone Fall Rally at SOTH in November. Question: did you know that as an auxiliary group, LWML does not receive any funds from the church budget? That surprised me, but I understand. Therefore, we greatly appreciate your generous support of all of our fundraising efforts. Your contributions last year enabled us to support local missions such as Threads of Hope, Crossville Mission Bible Training Center, Avalon, which is a domestic shelter and preventing violence, and of course, our Shepherd's Little Flock. It also allowed us to continue providing financial assistance to a seminary student at Concordia in St. Louis. I'm sure you're all familiar with the parable of the widow's mite. Our mite box is intended for regular contributions above and beyond your weekly offering. We collect mites every fourth weekend, and there's always a box as you enter the sanctuary. These funds support missions. LWML's current goal is over $2.5 million, funding 17 grants in the United States and 9 globally. So ladies, if you haven't already become a member, we hope and pray that you will join LWML, Lutheran Women in Mission. As you leave, I invite you to see me for additional information at this table. We ask that you serve and participate only as you can. I truly appreciate your time this morning. I want to highlight some of the upcoming events. Kristen was kind enough to provide a slide. On March 28th, in the gathering room, we have a guest speaker, again, from the Crossville Mission Bible Training Center. That's okay. And we're having another bingo session. Our fundraiser will be Cinco de Mayo, and everybody is invited. We had food, fun, fellowship, and fundraising. And that'll be on Saturday, May 2nd from 1 to 3:30. So mark your calendar for that. Bring a friend and be prepared to have a fiesta of a time. So I truly appreciate your time this morning, and a special thank goes out to all the gentlemen who sat through a presentation focusing on Lutheran women in mission. May we all continue to serve the Lord with gladness. Thank you.
Oh, Lisa, here, back here. Okay. First of all, you need to come to bingo because I'll be calling the numbers. So, and second of all, again, kudos to you guys. The last time I checked with you, you had not decided where to give the money from the Christmas tree that have you decided where that's going to go yet?
Hold on. That was actually through the growth committee, and Nancy.
That was growth? Oh,
Yes,
my mistake.
Some of the LWML ladies help, as we often try to serve, but where did that go?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll answer it so Nancy doesn't have to come up. What the growth committee wanted to do with those funds that, was first place in the Christmas tree was to put that, it was a $250 prize, into the shepherd's pouch. So that's where the
Thank you.
$250 went. And thank you, Lisa, and all the women. I think it's amazing what they've got going, and there's a whole lot more of other groups that are doing things in the church. We just have to open our eyes and see what they're doing. It's out there. There's things happening. So thank you very much.
And it's amazing. With our last membership drive, we have increased our active membership to 45 members. Again, it's open to all women. But if you want to be an active member and make that contribution, again, join us, see what we're all about, and serve as you can.
That is pretty, we got another over here, Ron. Pastor John.
Who's that?
Pastor BB.
Pastor Beebe. And I'd like to add, back in the days when Pastor Keith and myself were seminarians, LWML, it was always there with gifts. And the first clerical shirt that a seminarian receives was a gift from LWML. And they're there almost weekly bringing you something cheerful to help you get through the time in seminary life. So these folks do so many good things for our church, and all of us need to support them in all of their efforts as well.
Thank you. Anybody else, any comments for the LWML? Oh, over there.
Men, you are also very welcome to take a mite box of your own and fill it. So we have 2 people in the household filling mites and putting them towards all of our grand mission missions. I don't know. Anyway, you're all invited to do it. Come join us.
Good idea. And they collect those every so often. Is there a set schedule, or is every 4th Sunday? So, yeah, put your little coins in there every day and some bills if you want to. Yeah, thank you. All right, at this time, we'll entertain any other questions, general questions whatsoever. We've got some board members here that maybe could address them, or if there's any item that you would want us to address at our next meetings or things to check into, now's your time. Anybody? Well, Pastor John, Pastor BB. His nickname is Pastor BB by all the little kids that Shepherd's Little Flock. We were walking by the playground yesterday, Pastor John and Pastor Bert, and we were walking along there, and all the little kids just came running to the fence. Pastor BB, Pastor BB. It was cute.
And I'd just like to, I think the expression is give a shout out to the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful breakfast that we had on Ash Wednesday and the soup supper, and our attendance between the two services broke all records for our church attendance on Ash Wednesday. And of course, pastors, ever mindful of their stomachs, said, why don't we do this every Wednesday? But they would need an awful lot of help to do that, you know. So if we have one group that wants to do that every Wednesday, that would be great. But they started the ball rolling, and it was fantastic. And what a blessed Ash Wednesday we had here. In spite of the weather, it was great services and a great kickoff to the Broken Road for our midweek services.
Okay, I don't see any looks on anybody's faces like they want to say anything or raising their hands. So prior to calling this meeting to adjournment, I think we'll also close with the Lord's Prayer because it is a wonderful prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, forever and ever. Amen. With that, we'll call the meeting to adjourn. Everybody have a great day.